Anti-aesthetics. The case for awkwardness. Cue the dramatic music. Jonas Vingegaard, the seemingly polite, stoic giant of the mountains. He climbs like an accountant wrestling a calculator. Hunched, high cadence, almost out of sync with the bike. From the outside it looks like your chiropractor would scream. From the locker rooms, "Oh God, get the physical therapist," whispered teammates when Vingegaard joined Jumbo-Visma. Why does it look so bad? Conventional cycling wisdom insists climbing is about elegance, minimal upper body movement, smooth seated effort, legs glided like butter on hot toast. But Jonas, he looks like a man pedaling through stormy seas, not textbook, not grateful, but terrifyingly effective. Here's where science sticks its tongue out, form deals. A study by Millet in 2002 examined economy in seated versus standing positions and confirmed what every coach fears. Seated is more efficient for energy use, especially uphill. Another review of climbing, like the one inside article quote, "Inside the New Science of Climbing," parrots this. Standing isn't always smarter. It taxes your heart and wastes watts unless you're going for a sprint move. But Vingegaard, he climbs while looking like he's trying to learn cursive, and it shouldn't work. Yet here we are, Tour de France yellow jersey and all. A coach from Fast Talk Labs put it plainly, quote, "Standing is definitely less effective. You have a higher heart rate, but it is more powerful." Jonas is the embodiment of, "Yeah, it's inefficient, but I'm still the strongest, mate." The laugh heard round the bus. Flashback. Vingegaard's first days at Team Visma. Picture the bus. Physicists, disguised as mechanics, chortling when the Dane contorted his body over the handlebars on a mild climb in Spain. A domestique allegedly leaned in, snickered into his sleeve. "Buddy's auditioning for a yoga full reel." Sure, that's anecdotal, but locker rooms are wild ecosystems. Riders brainwash each other into ideal form codes. Jonas reportedly didn't fit any, yet within months he was leading the bunch. Those jokes turned into hush awe. He climbs with physics, not physics he climbs against. It doesn't publish as cycling news, but in hushed cafe corners near the peloton, the myth was brewing. Now, the laugh moment is metaphorical. It's the shock of seeing data-defying performance from form-defying posture. Science meets the shrimp. Here comes the nerd juice. Biomechanics and efficiency. As per the Indoor Cycling Association, upper body movement should be minimized, especially on climbs, unless you are launching an attack. Quote, "The proper form is to minimize upper body movement with the exception of attacks perhaps." Yet Jonas leans, he exhales, he rocks, though never relaxed, always in control. Power to weight dominance. One of the central truths in climbing is the power to weight ratio. Fast Talk Labs mused on whether climbing is all about that number, power versus body mass. Because if one rider is simply stronger relative to his weight, technique becomes secondary. Jonas is built like that, a botanical specimen of lean power. His legs are the horsepower, his body and shrimp Y bundle just hangs on. Quote, "The climbing technique matters, but if your watt to kilo is off the charts, technique is just a sideshow." Scientific studies, back to Millet's seated versus standing study, seated climbs are more efficient, meaning less energy to maintain pace. But what about holding power on longer gradients? That's where standing gives you immediate torque. Elevating your center of gravity, you can lean weight, engage glutes, and punch despite losing efficiency. Imagine Jonas as a human torque converter. He sacrifices beauty for raw thrust. toggles his posture not in flamboyance but in power bursts. The unlikely champion. So why does this shouldn't work style of climbing actually crush the Alps? Consistency under pressure. Jonas doesn't wiggle or churn like a man possessed. He keeps grinding, posture morphing under wind and lactic acid. On that infamous Col de Granon in 2022, critics said that UAE riders thought he was collapsing. He wasn't. He was gauging. Then he went full beast mode. Biomechanics over aesthetics. What looks awkward might be compact. Jonas's body position reduces frontal drag slightly, bringing him closer to the bike as his legs do the heavy lifting. Not elegant, but engine efficient. Psychological edge. Opponents see him grimacing, hunched, and they interpret fatigue. Happens in racing, you read weakness. Vingegaard weaponizes the misread. Poker face or a bluff. Cultivated strength zones. He climbs in a specific gear cadence combo. This is high cadence with low gear, but putting out enormous power. That cadence flips conversion metrics in his favour. While you criticize his posture, he pedals circles around you. Literally. The sarcastic finale and subtext. So here you sit, gawking at your screen thinking, if form is inefficient, how does he actually win? Because cycling is arrhythmic, and broken physics and a touch of madness. Let's wrap this up. So, he flies ugly so you barely notice he just smashes your perfect form. Classic. Biomechanic professors must hate him and maybe secretly adore the chaos. Muscles outrank textbooks every time. He's the anti-poster boy of climbing form, and he's wearing yellow. Irony membership card pending. His climbing looks like a video game glitch, but every glitch has broken the meta. Vingegaard equals broken code in the system. Laugh now, wonder later. Teammates may have giggled. Now they check Tour GC standings. Thanks for watching today's video. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all of the latest cycling news, cycling drama, and cycling results. Leave a like on this video for good luck, and feel free to comment down below your opinions about this topic in the comment section. You'll find that down below this video. By the way, I'm not saying that he somehow is a bad rider or has awful form, but it's definitely questionable, and when I was doing my research for a video to make, I came across a lot of this discussion on forums and things, so maybe you guys would be interested in taking a look at some of that, because I kind of think there's some pretty much truth to this.